And it's a theory that I had, especially reading The Orchard Keeper, that he at some point started to tie the dropping of the atom bomb with his own sexuality. So the first one is like his sexual awakening, and then the second one, like you're saying, that's the second bomb. So it's a new like kind of novelty lease on life, you know.
Yeah.
And that's literary theory that you won't see in the Cormac McCarthy Journal.
No, I mean, I actually think that's a really good theory. I actually really support Alistar in this, everyone. We're like giggling and stuff. But McCarthy was in the Air Force in 1953. That's only 8 years after the atom bomb. He is in the Air Force. Think of Dr. Strangelove, everyone. That it's a very sexual thing. Like the whole atom bomb, the phallus. I mean, Hemingway's gun, everyone. He was projecting his phallus out through the gun in big game hunting. Like, I know this isn't the most easy thing to talk about, and like a lot of people have resistance to this.
Sure.
but it's not bad. I mean, especially working at an unconscious level. I mean, for sure. I mean, with these big, and he was alive. I mean, McCarthy was 12 years old when the atom bomb was getting dropped. 12 years old, and once again, a very talented, well-read, smart individual already. Like he writes about him, Alicia and Bobby Western, like I think how he sees himself. So he's just, that's a lot to deal with. I mean,
yeah. Exactly. And I think it gives some kind of, I mean, look, who knows if it's true or not? I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's true. I think what it does is it gives like some kind of image, some kind of scope to how he kind of conceived, his art and how he wrote, that it has this kind of massive cataclysmic effect. Every single book hits hard. It's got to have a big, powerful, dark violence. So there's a lot going on there that I think it gives scope to. And, man, we could go so deep with it, but, I think we could just leave it there and let some people explore.
No, whoa. I mean, think about it. It's the epic, like you said earlier. What is the most epic part of today? And what's the most epic aspect of modern consciousness is the atom bomb. And how does McCarthy write? What does McCarthy do? He does stream of consciousness, gerund, heavy verbs. And that is literally the infernal rage. That is a burning fire that he's like putting on us.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would describe McCarthy's prose: blood meridian or an evening redness on the west.
Mm-hmm.
If we're looking at just like basic elements, is he writing from like a watery works? Is he writing earth-based works, air-based works, or fire-based works? A lot of them are fire-based works. He literally fucking said, "Carry the fire."
Yeah. And the judge is like singed, right? Like he's basically bald or like, does he even have eyebrows and stuff like that, So almost as if he's been in some kind of afterburn or something like that, singed off all his hair or something like that. So I think there's these things there, that infernal theme, that fire theme. And yeah, I mean, what happens to young guys at around 12, like, and if the atom bomb's dropping at the same time, like, that's trauma, there's a lot of things going on. So I don't know. I think you can tie some themes in there, and who knows, like that's maybe that's why he had to end his life on such a big spectacle, releasing 2 books at once, all about Oppenheimer and stuff like that. I think he saw that as the trajectory of his life. I think he kind of compared himself to someone like Oppenheimer, and you can see that throughout his life and work, So I don't know. I might have to work on that one a little bit. There might be something there, man.
And the second bomb we were referencing at the start of this clip was talking about McCarthy's big sexual awakening with his third wife in the 1990s, who was much younger than him, I think in her 20s when he was his 60s. And this relationship coincides with his massive change in style with the Border trilogy, No Country for Old Men, The Road, and whatnot. And so what do you guys think? Obviously, this is just outlandish literary criticism, but that's what we can do. This is what makes it fun. Sitting and doing a new criticism point of view analysis of McCarthy is not going to make people care. The more people reading, the better. And this theory is actually pretty good. I'm going to be thinking about this, and I'll do a full presentation on this soon. But if you guys want to see the full podcast with Alistar, that will be coming out soon, and I'll put that right over here when it drops.